Right next to me is actually our studio editing PC. We primarily use this PC to edit photos and videos basically. And while it is not being used, it has been our practice to actually put this PC to work as well. So the way we put it to work is actually to mine some cryptocurrencies with the discrete graphics card that has already installed inside. So the other day it got me thinking, why not I make a tutorial to share with you how you can do this as well. You can actually put your PC to work by letting the graphics card to do some cryptocurrency mining while you are not gaming or while the PC is on idle, and actually you can do some mining with your graphics card while you are doing some light surfing or any non-GPU intensive tasks just like Microsoft Word and Excel. And this is how you can generate some passive income with the PC that you already have at home. So if this is something that you are looking forward and if this is something that you are interested to learn, welcome to this video. Beginner's Guide to Cryptocurrencies Mining with your PC. So first, let's talk about what a cryptocurrency is. A cryptocurrency or crypto is a currency just like the dollar or any currency that we use, just that it is a digital currency and it does not have any central entity or bank that controls it. That's why it is called decentralized. Cryptocurrencies are stored in crypto wallets. Crypto wallets are just like your banks where you store all your monies. But unlike banks, if you are using decentralized crypto wallets, you are responsible to store your own private keys because those private keys are the only ways that you can access to your wallet like a password. Nowadays, there are also crypto wallets provided by centralized services whereby you get an account and password when you sign up for the wallet. In the event that you forget your password, there are always ways to recover back your wallet, but do note that these services are centralized. The next thing we need to talk about is actually the wallet address. So a wallet address is actually just like your bank account number. It is a unique combination of numbers and letters. So for example, this is my Bitcoin address and this is my Ethereum address. So feel free to send me some Bitcoin or Ethereum. One thing to take note is that you must send the correct crypto to the correct crypto address. For example, you must send Bitcoin into a Bitcoin address. So if you send a Bitcoin to an Ethereum address, this will result in loss of fund. Now let's talk about what cryptocurrency mining is. You see, in conventional finance, when I transfer money to somebody else or when somebody else transfer money to me, banks are the ones who are actually doing the validations and also keeping records. In the world of cryptocurrency, this is where cryptocurrency mining comes into play. So cryptocurrency mining is actually the process of validating these transactions. So miners are actually the one who validate these transactions and keep the records in the blockchain. They are writing the records in the blockchain and miners get the crypto as a reward for doing that. There are two ways to mine cryptocurrencies because there are two different protocols out there, which are proof of work and proof of stake. So let's discuss about proof of work first. So under proof of work protocol, this is where the mining hardware is being used to validate transactions, just like our GPUs, CPUs, and ASICs. The hardware is actually solving the block using the computational power that it has, and of course, this process consumes electricity. So miners get compensated after a block is successfully solved. For crypto, they are using proof of stake protocol. You need to own a certain number of the crypto in order to launch a node. Now, after you launch a node, then only you will have the rights to validate transactions. Think it like being a shareholder of the crypto. In this video, we will be focusing on mining cryptocurrencies that are under the proof of work protocol, as you will be learning how to mine with your PC while your PC is not in use, instead of letting it on idle. So right now, let's talk about different types of mining rigs. So the first type that we have is actually ASIC. ASIC stands for Application Specific Integrated Circuit. So ASIC is actually a machine that is designed to only solve one algorithm. So meaning that if you own an ASIC, you can only mine crypto that is under that algorithm. And when something is designed to only do one thing, it gotta be good, right? So ASICs actually have high computational power on that specific algorithm. Despite the high computational power that ASICs machines have, ASIC mining actually comes with a lot of disadvantages. The first one is actually it consumes a lot of electricity. If you plan to run multiple ASICs, you pretty much need to redesign your circuit. And because it involves and uses a lot of electricity, there are a lot of power theft issue around the world whereby miners are setting up illegal farms to steal electricity and mine cryptocurrencies with ASICs machine. And one of the most popular news among the mining community is actually whereby the police are using a steamroller to destroy the ASICs machines that are confiscated by them from the illegal farms. And that news is actually from my hometown. As a miner, it is definitely painful to watch that video. ASICs also produce high heat while mining, and your parents or wife or husband is definitely not going to let you to keep those machines at home because of the noise level that they produce. It sounds like a jet is ready for takeoff. So next we have GPU rig. So for GPU rig, basically we are mining with the graphics card that we use for gaming or work. Of course, the better graphics card that you have, the more computational power that you're gonna get. And of course, it is very residential friendly because it does not produce high heat like those ASICs machine, and of course, it is a lot quieter. When it comes to GPU mining, you have choices when it comes to algorithms. So basically, you can switch between algorithms depending on which coin you want to mine, which coin is more profitable to mine. And as long as the coins are using an algorithm that is GPU mineable, you can mine that coin. Last but not least, we have CPU rigs. And yes, you can mine cryptocurrencies with CPU. And just like GPU mining, you can actually switch between different algorithms to mine different coins as long as the coin is actually CPU mineable. However, it is not recommended for beginners to actually do CPU mining because the profitability is way lower than GPU mining, and sometimes it is just like few cents a day. So I personally wouldn't suggest you to do CPU mining and put your CPU on high load for whole day long just for few cents a day. Unlike GPU, whereby you can add additional GPU as long as you have extra PCIe slot, for CPU, most motherboard can only accommodate one CPU. So if you would like to expand your CPU rigs, you basically need extra motherboard, extra RAM, extra storage, and these costs would add up very quickly when you plan to expand your CPU rigs. And also, if you are just mining on the side, you might still need to use your PC for some light tasks like web surfing, Microsoft Word, Excel, or even watching YouTube videos. So you wouldn't want to mine with your CPU, or else you can even get your Microsoft Word document crash. So for this tutorial, we will be focusing on using that discrete graphics card that you have already installed in your PC. A lot of people are worried when it comes to using the GPU to do some cryptocurrency mining, whether or not it is safe and what could possibly go wrong. Now, it is safe to mine with your GPU. As long as you are downloading the miners from the original source, there will be no virus attached to it. However, the antivirus might still flag it as a malicious program because you know a lot of people use it maliciously and things like that. So to avoid all these false flags that you get, you can actually add the miner as an exclusion of your antivirus or firewall. Another worry that a lot of people have is actually, will mining damage your GPU? Now, cryptocurrency mining with your GPU actually consumes less power compared to gaming and productive works because you will be undervolting your GPU so that it consumes less power and produces less heat. You just have to make sure that your GPU temperature stays below 70 degrees Celsius while mining and you will be fine. You can achieve this by turning up the fan speed. Now, what might go wrong is actually system corrupt that is sometimes due to the overclock and undervolt settings that we apply on the graphics card. Now, there is a chance that your PC will be forced to restart due to blue screen. So it will not damage your PC, but because there is a restart, you might lose your file. So always back up your important files. Right now, let me demonstrate to you with the PC that we hear right in our studio for video and photo editing. Now, just a little bit of introduction. This PC is running with an AMD Ryzen 7 3700X CPU and also an NVIDIA RTX 3060 GPU LHR edition. Now, more on the LHR part later. So the first thing that you need to do is go over to NiceHash.com and click Get Started to sign up for a new NiceHash account. So after you have created your account, log into your account and then click mining. So what we want to do now is actually download the miner or add ASIC. So you will be prompted with a few mining options. The first one is NiceHash Quick Miner. Now, if you do not want to mess with a lot of settings and options, this one is the miner that you want to download. But for this tutorial, I'll be using NiceHash Miner, which has a lot more features in it. So go over and click that and download NiceHash Miner and install into your PC. So after everything is done, you will see the dashboard of this mining software. So the first thing that you might want to do is actually go ahead to the worker name and change the name of your worker. So for this, I'll just say Studio PC because this is the Studio PC that we have right over here. So this is just for you to recognize your device easier in case that you have multiple computers that you want to mine with. Alright, so the next thing what you can do is go to devices and you can see that right over here we have our CPU AMD Ryzen 7 3700X and our GPU NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3060. Now as mentioned just now, we would be disabling mining with our CPU. For the first time running this miner, what you need to let the miner does is actually run one round of benchmarking. So what does benchmarking means right over here is basically letting the miner to run through a series of algorithms trying to mine different coins, and later on it will mine the most profitable coin. So the benchmarking process will take some time, and right now I'd like to use this time to explain a little bit about overclocking and undervolting. So overclocking means that you want to make the GPU to perform better, and undervolting means to limit the power so that it consumes less energy. So again, you can download this MSI Afterburner from MSI websites. I will leave the link in the description below so that you can go and download. It's free to use. And the first thing that we typically do is actually uncheck this auto fan settings, and then we will increase the fan settings say to 70 and then click this check button so that it applies the setting. Now for mining, as right now I personally know that the most profitable coin that the system will let it mine is actually Ethereum. So Ethereum is using the EThash algorithm. So for EThash algorithm, it is a memory intensive algorithm. So what we can try to do is actually increase the memory clock. Now for 3060, RTX 3060, we can increase by about, we can start with 1000. Now depending on different graphics card, you want to start with maybe 500 for the memory clock, and then you increase a little bit by a little bit. So because I know that this graphics card can handle quite a lot, so I'll start with plus 1000 first, and then you basically need to try to find the settings whereby you can increase the memory clock every time by 50. Increase by 50 until you get a blue screen. Now you will need some time to adjust this. And for mining Ethereum using the EThash algorithm, you can also try to decrease the core clock 50 each time. Okay, and then you can try until you get a blue screen, and then you're forced to restart. Now it takes some time. So once you have find the maximum memory clock that the graphics card can handle, and then maybe the core clock that is suitable for you to mine with, the next thing that we want to do is actually to uncheck this and set the temperature limit to around 80%, 80 degrees Celsius, and then lower down the power limit to maybe somewhere around 80 and try out first. So again, because I have used this graphics card to mine before, I've already saved a template right over here. And once you find the most optimum settings, you can actually save it in the MSI Afterburner, and then you can click that profile to apply the overclock and undervolt every time you want to leave it for mining. And when you want to start gaming or do some production work that requires GPU processing power, what you can do is actually just click this undo button, reset button to go back to default settings and apply it. And then you can use the graphics card at the factory setting again. So to my surprise that the miner actually launched the mine with the Octopus algorithm, but because we want to try to mine Ethereum, because theoretically speaking, Ethereum is more profitable to mine. So let me just stop the miner and go over to benchmark under NB miner Dagger Hashimoto. I want to click the gear icon. So for under extra launch parameter, I want to go to type 2-LHR and then I will type 74. So this is basically a code whereby it is being used for NB miner in this case to unlock the LHR capability of the card by up to 74%. So just enable this algorithm, and then I think that it will re-benchmark again. We will need to set it to re-benchmark again. All right, so let's just start to re-benchmark and we'll come back later. So the benchmarking is finally done, and right now we can see that it is mining with the NiceHash algorithm. So what this miner will do is actually try to tune the LHR unlock. So basically, because this graphic card is an LHR graphic card, meaning that it is being locked for mining, the mining capability is being reduced by half, and this miner will magically tune it and slowly unlock the LHR limitation. And right here, if we go to device and then we stop the miner, we can see that the miner is automatically being stopped. And every time you want to start mining, you can click the start button, and then it will launch the miner. So the window with the black background is basically the miner. And in the event that if the miner crash, let's say I try to close this close button of the miner, you will see that it will automatically relaunch the miner again. So this is very beginner friendly, and you don't need to worry in the event that the miner crash or things like that. As long as you are running the NiceHash miner at the background, if anything were to happen to the miner, if it crashed and things of that nature, it will relaunch the miner again. Right now, let's talk a little bit about how NiceHash works in a nutshell. So right now, you can see that it is mining with the NiceHash algorithm, which means it is actually mining Ethereum. However, we are not going to be paid out in Ethereum. How NiceHash works is basically it will figure out what's the most profitable coin to mine, and then it will mine it and pay you out in Bitcoin. So right now, the current profitability per day is 0.033 MBTC per day. So note that this current profitability would fluctuate a little bit depending on the hash rate fluctuation. By the way, hash rate is the computational power that your graphics card is putting out. So assuming that you are mining 24 hours a day, this is the estimated profit that you can get. The mining reward will be paid out in Bitcoin and will be deposited into your NiceHash wallet. However, we all have our own choice of wallet. So what you can do is actually withdraw the Bitcoin from your NiceHash wallet to your wallet of choice. However, there is a minimum withdrawal amount. The minimum withdrawal amount is actually 0.001 BTC. So in this case, if we are going to get 0.000033 BTC per day, we can actually pull out our calculators and use 0.001 divided by 0.000033, and then you can see that in this case, it will take us 30 days mining 24 hours in order to get our first Bitcoin withdrawal out from NiceHash wallet to our preferred wallet. So depending on what GPU you have, how many GPUs you have, and also how many hours you mine with them, your time needed to get your 0.001 BTC would differ. So you might need longer or shorter time to hit that minimum payout threshold before you can send that Bitcoin to your preferred wallet. So right now, obviously, we are out from the studio, and one great thing about NiceHash is actually it has a very user-friendly application. So right over here, we can see that the rigs, we have our studio PC mining right over here. So if we click in, you can have access with a lot of information like the current temperature, which is running at 54 degrees Celsius. You can also see the speed, which is the mega hash, the computational power that it puts out, as well as the power that it is drawing, and a lot more information like current profitability. And one great thing is you can actually restart the miner right from the app as well. So it gives you a lot of peace of mind when you are outside actually. Another thing that I did not get to explain just now is actually this unpaid mining balance. So not to be confused with the minimum withdrawal limit of 0.001 BTC. So this is actually the unpaid mining balance that the NiceHash actually deposit your BTC reward into the NiceHash wallet. So every 4 hours, they will pay you out if you hit 0.0001 BTC. So right now, let me just finish the coffee and then go back to the studio and explain about LHR. Alright, back in the studio. Right now, let's talk about a topic called LHR, which stands for light hash rate. Since a couple of years ago, whereby mining is very profitable, the prices of GPU basically skyrocketed because scalpers are selling those GPU at prices that are unreasonably high. Gamers actually hate miner to a certain extent because to them, miners are the one who cause the GPU prices to go up. But come and think of it, miners also wish to buy GPU at the MSRP or at any reasonable price. Scalpers are the one to blame actually, but these are basics, demand and supply, and also from a business standpoint, miners are still willing to pay for the scalper price because, well, mining is still profitable. After that, Nvidia comes up with LHR card to limit the hash rate by half to sort of discourage miners from buying their GPUs for mining. However, the limit that Nvidia adds to the LHR cards mainly affects the EThash algorithm, which is the algorithm we use to mine Ethereum. And Ethereum back then was the most profitable coin to mine. And it also affects ETC hash, which is the algorithm similar to EThash, but it is being used to mine Ethereum classics. Other than that, the LHR cards can actually mine other algorithms and coins at the full hash rate. So despite it is less profitable to mine compared to non-LHR cards, LHR cards are actually still profitable to mine, and not forgetting that it is cheaper to obtain LHR cards, and that kind of offset the inability for the LHR cards to mine Ethereum at a full hash rate. And as time goes, mining software developers are working very hard and smart to bypass these limitations set by the manufacturer. There are a few miners that are slowly unlocking the limitation on mining Ethereum for this LHR card. Right now, it can be mined at around 74% hash rate on Ethereum rather than the initial 50% limitation set by the manufacturer. And one of the settings that we have changed just now is actually to unlock the LHR potential in the miner just now. Hopefully one day some smart guys can figure out how to fully bypass this limitation so that we can mine Ethereum at a full hash rate while Ethereum is still under proof of work protocol. Alright, that will be all for this tutorial video. Definitely, there are still certain things that you need to figure out yourself or do some research, especially for your specific GPU, what would be the best coin to mine, and also what would be the best settings for undervolting and overclocking. If you like this video or this type of content, do not forget to smash the like button because that's a way for you to tell me that you love this kind of content. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more future updates and videos on investing, personal finance, or making passive income just like this one. With that said, thanks for watching, and I will see you when I see you. Happy mining and peace out.